I would like to be able to come up with a plan for what to do next. But I feel that it's a little premature for for too much planning because we're in a phase of deconstruction, of dismantling of um, previous agreements. So there was of course the world is the human world is built on agreements. That's how we do it. The agreements between us is the skeleton of the whole social universe that humans inhabit. Our agreements create the space, the, the physical space, the biological space, the mental space, in order to have an experience, a human experience. Okay, the agreements do that. They create structures. Okay, and of course, then the physical structures reflect the non-physical agreements, previous agreements that people have made amongst each other and between each other. We have thousands of agreements, right, between us, and that's um, and when you add up all of the agreements, you end up with a unique culture. North American culture is based on a particular set of agreements. European culture is based on a slightly different set of agreements. East African culture or South Indian culture or Tibetan culture is based on a particular set of agreements that everybody who's part of that culture has agreed to. That's but that's all we have. All we have is agreements between us, and it's the agreements that create the structure that we experience as law and order and justice and fairness and civilization. It's all based on agreements. So you can change it as a civilization very easily by changing the agreements, the underlying agreements that exist between people. And most of the agreements, of course, are not written down anywhere. They're just what is. We always do it this way. This is how we live. We're Canadians, We talk like this. We live like this. This is us. The social climate globally is in a stage of being reconstructed, or should I say, deconstructed. The deconstruction has to precede the reconstruction because there's only so many resources available to society at any given moment of time. And those resources are allocated according to the agreements that we have all made between ourselves as to what is a resource, what a resource is worth, what the value of a resource is, and so on, so on, so on. Law and order. That's what we have, okay? And we depend on that for everything else. Without the fundamental lawful agreements between us as to what's what, we would be experiencing various types of chaos. Could be unpleasant. If you've ever been in a Category 5 hurricane or a tornado or any one of numerous natural events that just earthquakes, things, floods that just make you realize your position in the natural world depends on a lot of things staying the same from moment to moment, day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, century to century. We depend on that, and when it goes, that's it for the world as we know it personally. Then we have to deal with the chaos and figure out a way out of it. Anyway, so deconstruction has to precede reconstruction. And we're in the deconstruction phase right now. So until the deconstruction process has proceeded a little further along, it's going to be very difficult to start something new and not related to the existing rules of law and order, and what's doable, what's not doable, what's worthwhile doing. Anyway, all we really need to focus on for our immediate future is what's worthwhile for us. What do we want to spend our time on? You know, and I definitely, personally, do not want to spend a second of my time on maintaining this insane civilization that we are embedded in, which is totally nuts as far as I'm concerned. It has all of its priorities backwards, screwed up. And even though this is Canada, and I love Canada, and Canada's the greatest place to live. There's no place on the planet like this place, and I'm very proud of the country I live in and all the great things that it's done. And I also know how fundamentally screwed up things are, and how seemingly impossible it seems right now to be able to unify all these forces that are pulling in different directions and create some kind of a consensus reality that actually includes everybody and every living thing on the planet, which is where we have to start.